Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 luxury prisons that are nicer than your house. People go to prison to be punished for committing crimes, but you might be surprised to find out that some prisons aren't very punishing at all. From Starbucks and McDonald's in the cells to flat screen TVs and dancing, get ready to see some prisons that may be nicer than your own home. But first, be sure to subscribe and press the notification bell too. Coming in at number 10, we have Bastøy Prison. What if Bill Gates committed a crime and got locked up? Well, he would probably end up in Bastøy Prison in Norway. This prison is located on a private island named Bastøy Island and is only for the rich. Now, when I say it's on a prison island, think less Alcatraz and more a resort in the Bahamas. This prison is pretty big but only houses around 100 people. This means prisoners have a lot of space, unlike some prisons in Asian countries where there can be up to 20 prisoners in one cell. This place has more activities for the prisoners than a resort. Prisoners can enjoy luxury tennis courts and soccer pitches. They can also enjoy the wildlife by fishing, and the prison even has their own private sunbathing area. And you can even act like some kind of king and go horseback riding around the island. The prisoners don't live in cells but countryside cottages, and they get one each. That's right, forget one cell per person, these prisoners get one house per person. During the day they work on farms with animals and crops. And also prisoners are free to leave and walk around the island whenever they want. This is because it's an island, so there's nowhere for the prisoners to escape to. But let's be real, would anyone even want to escape from this place? If anything, it sounds like people would want to break into here instead of break out. Next up is Pondok Bambu Prison. This prison really is one that only the richest can afford. Pondok Bambu Prison is located in Indonesia and offers all the comforts of home to their inmates. However, most prisons in Indonesia are known for being some of the worst in the world. So what's the catch when it comes to Pondok Bambu? Well, that would be corruption. You see, in here, prisoners are all women, and they pay large sums of money to go there. This is often a place where female gangsters and the gangsters' wives go to. And also, if women working in the government or a large company get put in prison, they will likely go to this one. The prison is like a house with aircon, comfy furniture, and TVs. This place is so close to home that prisoners can actually take their stuff from their house and put it in their cell. And I use the term cell very loosely, as what they have is more of a studio apartment. This place even has karaoke machines and nail salons, as well as a sculpture room full of art and a botanical garden. What's more, family can live in this prison with you, and it's basically treated like more of an apartment complex than a prison. Next up is Sollentuna Prison. This is yet another prison which has more features than many college dorms. This Swedish prison is complete with private cells for its inmates where they have their own comfortable beds and sofas from IKEA. And forget a steel bucket, these prisons have their very own bathroom section. The facilities here are all state of the art, which include a full gym and a kitchen which can be used by everyone. So you can make a juice and go to the gym to get healthy while behind bars here. They also have many rec areas for the prisoners to relax in with sofas and large TVs. The prisoners here are also allowed to bring personal items into their rooms, which include computers, guitars, and even files so they can work from behind bars. This prison looks more like a college from the outside because there are windows everywhere and prisoners can look outside all day long. Also, privacy is very good in this prison as the prisoners are not watched in their rooms by cameras. And some areas of their room can't even be seen by the door's window. The prison is also known for sometimes lighting up and having relaxing couches all over the prison. One thing's for sure, if you're ever locked up in Sweden, you better hope you're sent to Sollentuna. Next up is HMP Addiewell. Her Majesty Prison Addiewell is located in Scotland and is no regular prison. While in most prisons, prisoners are punished, in this prison they're there to learn. The prison is called a learning prison and it comes with a requirement that all prisoners must follow. The prisoners must all commit to at least 40 hours of productivity per week. This often means learning a skill or getting educated. The whole point of this prison is to help prisoners adjust to normal life and serve the community. Most prisoners who go to this place have committed minor offenses and want to turn their lives around. For that, they're rewarded with comfortable rooms with TVs and computers. They also have their own bathroom and shower room, and daily towels are provided just like a hotel. And much like Sollentuna Prison in Sweden, this place looks a lot more like a college than a prison from the outside. But from the sounds of it, more learning goes on in here than in a college. Be honest, is this prison just as nice or perhaps even nicer than your college dorm? Next up is Cebu Prison. Sometimes the prisoners in prisons have done crimes which make them famous or infamous. Well, what about going to a prison that could make you famous? Forget America's Got Talent, check out Cebu Prison in the Philippines. While most Philippine prisons are not nice at all, this prison is different. It's not luxury in the sense that there's horseback riding and sunbathing areas, but this prison gives its inmates ultimate creativity. What I mean by that is this prison is a hub for music, singing, arts, and dancing. That is what the prisoners do here each and every day. But how do they get famous from doing it, you might be asking? Well, these prisoners don't just perform for each other, they actually perform for civilians. People buy tickets to come to this prison and watch the shows the prisoners put on, and then the money gets reinvested back into the prison and its arts. So if you ever wanted to go to art or band camp as a kid but couldn't, then maybe try getting into this prison. Just kidding, don't do that. But as I was saying, some of the best performers in this prison end up getting famous and civilians even ask for their autographs. And when they're released, they're often well known enough to start doing what they were doing behind bars professionally. Next up is Holden Prison. If there's one thing we know from this list, it's that prisons in Scandinavian countries are lax, to put it lightly. The nickname of this prison is the most humane prison in the world, but some call it the softest and most pointless prison in the world as it's so lax. Every inmate has their own room with a lot of privacy. The prisoners get to work on skills all day to get them back into society as quick as possible, and a rec room with a large TV, movies and video games is all in the prison. There's also a state-of-the-art, fully fitted gym too. But the most impressive luxury this prison has to offer is a music production studio. If you've ever wanted to form a band or become a pro rapper, then you can do it here in this prison. The prison has instruments, microphones and sound mixers all used by pros. And there's even a fully equipped kitchen in this place where prisoners can make all the food they like. So you can cook up an omelette in the kitchen and then cook up a beat in the studio. Really though, this prison seems like a nice place, almost more like a hotel than a prison. Next up is Aranjuez prison. One thing people don't like about prison is that it can tear families apart. Sometimes kids have to grow up without a mom or a dad because they're in jail. Well, this prison in Spain is designed for kids and young adults. Kids can spend the first few lives of the year behind bars with their parents. Some say this isn't nice for the kids, but the prison is more of a paradise for kids. There are cribs everywhere and even children's play areas. There's also teddy bears and Disney characters painted on all the walls. Yeah, this place doesn't exactly have the typical prison decor. This place is good as it allows kids to still grow up with their parents despite what they've done. However, some say the kids shouldn't live in prison just because their parents have messed up and committed a crime. What do you think about this child's prison? Do you agree with the concept or do you think it's not fair on the kids? And does this place look nice enough that it warrants kids and babies growing up here? Next up is Otagon Corrections Facility. This prison is located in New Zealand and is one of the biggest in the country. However, it's also one of the newest and nicest prisons in New Zealand. The prison has very comfortable accommodation with furniture, beds, and even TVs in every room. Inmates are also allowed gifts to be brought in such as food, books, candy, posters, and music. The prison even has its own rugby field and inmates can play rugby, soccer, or other sports. The prison also has what it calls its change through skill building. In this building, inmates learn various skills such as cooking, farming, engineering, and more. This will allow them to get a job once they're released, which helps the community and the prisoners. Do you think these rehabilitation prisons are too soft, or do you think they're better for everyone? Studies show that taxpayers save money with these new prisons. However, some say criminals shouldn't be given a second chance, which seems kind of harsh. Let me know your thoughts and tell me if you wouldn't mind staying at the Octagon Corrections Facility. Next up is Justice Center Leoben. This prison is a minimum security prison located in Austria. The place is being compared to a hotel from the outside and apparent tourists sometimes mistake it for apartments. In fact, the inside of each prisoner's cell looks like a studio apartment. Each prisoner gets their very own one of these with a decent amount of space. The prison also has good privacy with a private bathroom and kitchen in every cell. There is also a fully fitted gym, an outdoor rec area, and even a basketball court which can be used as a soccer field too. Each cell has a TV inside as well as a kettle for making as much coffee or tea as the prisoners want. And most prisoners' doors are windowed, meaning they can always watch the sunrise and actually make the best of their sentence. From the outside, this place looks like some kind of trendy wooden apartment building or office. And as I said, it's often mistaken for something other than a prison by visitors. Now you know you're in a nice prison when people can't even tell it's a prison. I wonder if there'd be more crime if all prisons were like this. What are your thoughts on the super nice Justice Center Leoben? Next up, we have the Champ d'Olon prison. If you're a people person and you enjoy sharing an apartment with people, then you'll like this prison in Switzerland. This prison has triple occupancy rooms. It's newly refurbished, meaning that all the technology and amenities here are state of the art. But the facilities aren't the only good thing about this place. The room sharing actually means the prisoners feel more like university students. This allows what are called dorm mates in the prison to work together to become rehabilitated. There are programs in the prison which help prisoners get back on track and into society again. The images of this prison sure do look nice as it's nicely lit and the cafeteria looks more like a trendy bistro than a prison cafeteria. Also in the prison there are many outdoor rec areas and green spaces for the prisoners to hang out and play sports. What do you think of the Champ d'Olon prison? Is it too luxurious or should all prisons be like this in order to rehabilitate the prisoners? You have to remember though that even though these places are kind of luxurious, they are still prisons after all. And while rec areas and gyms are good, it doesn't beat freedom. Okay, maybe the sunbathing and the horseback riding do, but you get the picture. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the prison you would want to go to the most. If you had to go to prison, that is.